Alright, so welcome back. It's another chill one this week. We're gonna take the energy down and do another art log style video as we sketch some weapon designs. I thought I might riff on the Fortnite weapon design art direction this week, just to break down how I would approach designing a weapon for a game like Fortnite. So, gathering a few references and giving myself a pretty loose design brief. So I'm going for like a drill or a nail gun type looking weapon with a little bit of a sci-fi sensibility and also leaning into that Fortnite style. So you can see right from the get-go, I'm spending a lot of time just getting out some sketch iterations, playing a lot with selling the proportions and silhouette of something that looks like a handgun and also a drill and a nail gun to start with, and trying to come up with some interesting combinations with props like handguns or any kind of weapons. Anytime you add volume to the design, there's always a bit of push-pull with trying to balance it out again. You don't want it to be too front or back heavy. And during the whole process, I'm trying to find opportunities to push the playfulness and scale. So I feel like that's something Fortnite leans into quite a lot. Big, chunky, playful, simplified shapes with a little bit of taper. And I quite enjoy this sketching process here. It's usually just one layer, square brush, a little bit of pressure on the opacity. I thought it might be nice this week just to do something a little bit more relaxed and less intensive in terms of the amount of prep and effort that goes into the video, and just make it a little bit more casual. So I hope you enjoy that. I've come to realize how much effort and energy goes into creating informative educational videos, and it's a lot. So after throwing a lot of time at last week's vid, it was a good time to just reassess. So you can see here, I've taken these designs through quite a few stages of iteration. I'm starting to hone in on kind of the direction I want to take them now. One of the things I really wanted to get back to this year, and I guess a resolution moving into 2025, is just to sketch more, do more iterative sketching. I think looking at my own portfolio, that's something I'd like to include a little bit more of. And reason being is that, to be honest, if I was an art director looking at my folio, I would have some unanswered questions. Namely, how does this person think? Can they sketch? Can they iterate? I do have some of that in there, but I think as concept artists or aspiring concept artists looking for certain types of work in the industry. I mean, in my case, that'd be concept art, specializing in environments, having some props sprinkled in, whether you specialize in environments or characters, is always nice to have. Generally, companies like to hire artists that can tackle a range of subjects, and props is one of those ones that every game is always going to need. I've come to really enjoy designing simple props. If this is your first time here, I'm James Combridge. I'm a concept artist and illustrator from Australia, and I've been working in the games, film and entertainment industry for close to a decade now. I've worked for a range of different IPs over the course of my freelance career, and I'm on a mission here to create the kind of online educational content that I wish I had access to when I was first starting out. So if you're a beginner concept artist, a generalist, a game developer, or curious in general about the creative process, consider subscribing and joining the mailing list in the description below. So I'm making some notes here for myself. I'm wanting to make sure, as I take this design further, that I'm thinking about the story, the backstory of the weapon. And that's going to really help me make it a little bit more interesting, a bit more grounded. It just helps me come up with some fresh ideas when I force myself to think about the story of this weapon. So thinking about, maybe at some point it was a drill or it was some kind of nail gun and it's had its functionality repurposed. Maybe they've harvested some batteries and attached them underneath where the drill battery pack used to go. And before there was one and now there's three. They've kind of joined them together. So at this stage, I wanted to see what it's going to look like from other angles. We'll go into 3D now. And this is a process I really enjoy for props like this. And I definitely could have spent some more time cleaning up that profile sketch a little bit more. I think in hindsight, I would have liked to do that, but I definitely had enough information in that profile sketch to where I could bring it into 3D and just project from view or cut out an image as plain, just to start getting a sense of the volume of this gun. If you haven't tried this process in Blender, just taking like a simple sketch and blocking in some basic shapes, I recommend giving it a go. And for this particular kind of workflow, I'm not aiming for fine detail, good topology. It's really important in the design phase of the project not to be worried about that stuff, not to let it bog you down. So I'll keep it in 3D for as long as I feel like the 3D is serving me. By that I mean it's allowing me to refine the design more without getting too bogged down with tools and shading and topology. And once I feel like I'm slowing down a little bit in 3D, that's kind of the point where I decide it's time to take this back into 2D and refine the forms, refine the design back in Photoshop. So I'm still using 3D as an opportunity to make some bold design choices. At this point, I do kind of have the silhouette and basic proportions locked in, so carving sections off the gun or adding some sections to it, always good. It's not going to break the overall design too much. So having it in 3D like this is a really great way for me to solve some problems for myself, namely how it works And I can look at it from all sides and make sure the forms I've designed actually work in 3D space. For example, making sure that battery pack down the bottom has like a rail that actually looks like it would slot in. And same with the weapon magazine. And the nice little trick in Blender is if you go into the preferences and in your themes and set your checkerboard background to a single color, and then turn film on in rendered view to transparent, you're giving yourself a free blue screen. So no waiting around for renders, you can just take a screenshot and copy paste that straight into Photoshop. So here we go, back into 2D. It's pretty rough, like I said. If I'd spent a little bit more time on that 2D profile sketch, I think I probably would have been able to take it a lot further, possibly even much closer to final in 3D. But that's alright. I have a strong base and I have established lighting and perspective now, so I can come in and start refining. So there's a few scuffed areas on this weapon, still from the sketch render. And some of those I'm choosing to keep in there. I feel like they're adding to the style, and it's giving that sense of a little bit of grunge on the weapon. As I start filling this out, bring it to the final stages, I'm just adding a little bit of that history to the weapon, a little bit of weathering. So even at these later stages, I'm still trying to make sure I realign myself with the art direction that I chose. So referencing Fortnite for scale and playfulness and simplicity, making sure I scale up some of those insets so they're not such realistic proportions, let's say. And even scale cues like those vents at the back there, you know, on real drills, there's probably twice as many of those. But when you're trying to push scale and proportion, playfulness into this kind of art style, scaling up individual elements such as bullets, screws, vent holes, weapon triggers is a great way to help it feel a little bit more toy-like. Hope you enjoyed this week's vid. Nice simple one, and I encourage you to give this a go. Find an IP that you enjoy, that you'd like to replicate, set yourself some artistic direction, and take a prop through that sketch process. Iterate, try bouncing from 2D to 3D, back to 2D again. Let me know how you go.